everybody, it's me, the Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl. It's Monday night and this is Twisted Stitches. I hope you had an amazing weekend. I have been very, very busy after, what did I have this weekend? Oh, stitches. Yes, it was stitches. Stitches kept me in stitches all weekend. Between stitches and the snow, it has been a crazy time here. But I did get some time for knitting in. I hope you did as well. And we have an amazing show for you tonight because I am really excited to have a special guest. Michael Green is joining us. I believe Michael is in Ohio. And I'm just going to spend a little bit of time talking a little bit about some other things. Make sure we have some other folks coming in. Pam, do we know how many people we have on right now? Can we tell?
Well, we have some people that are chatting.
Okay.
We have Anna Marie saying hello, everyone. Alexandra Stephanos. Hi, Michael Green. And Kelly Kohlhofer, hello. Anna Maria, welcome, Michael. And Antoinette Kellum is saying hi. And Kathleen Bray, hi there from California. I'm here weaving in ends. Hi to all. Dina Justice, hi all. Hi, Michael. And Susan Meek saying she shared. And I think that's about it for now.
Okay, cool. Well, we are really happy that everyone is here with us. We've got a great show lined up for you. A couple of things, you know that you've seen me knitting my little fingers off. I don't know if I'm either knitting or shoveling, it seems, lately. And I finally finished the cowl that I was working on. So, Pam, if you want to show them the sweet Valentine cowl, it's upside down. I did that crazy. There we go. It is on the blocking mats. It is just so pretty, and I'm so happy with it. So that's the latest and greatest from Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl. Not from me. I just knitted it. Ava O'Brien is the designer of this lovely piece that is on our website. So that's what I've been working on, along with getting ready for the knit along that we have coming up with Jody Long's Valentina. So we are all over February and Valentine's Day here. And appropriately, Michael's new design, his new cowl is knitted in, actually he showed it in red. And so, kind of along with that same theme. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce you to Michael Green, knitwear designer, dancer, resident of Ohio. There are so many things that Michael can share with us. So welcome, Michael. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's wonderful to have you. So would you just give our audience a little bit of a background about who you are, what you do, and how you got involved in knitting?
So I will forewarn, I am having a little bit of technical issues on mine, but I started knitting really young, I think around 10, and my mother had a crochet items, and she was an avid crocheter, but she said she could never figure out how to knit. And there was a knitting book and some needles, and I just could not crochet. So I said, I'm going to pick up these needles. I'm going to figure it out because I love to have a challenge. So from a book with just grayscale diagrams, I learned to knit.
At 10 years old?
And it became the thing that I always went to at 10 years old. I taught myself to knit.
Wow.
And it just became the thing that I always went to. I also have ADHD. I was diagnosed. And so it's the thing that I always go to kind of recenter my brain, like figuring it. It's like a puzzle constantly. And I love that about it. And so I guess that's what has driven me to design, along with being an artist. I'm a dancer by trade, professional dancer here in Dayton, Ohio. And so dancing all the time, I see great art and I want to express that in the things that I create. So I designed a cowl that kind of represented my journey to where I am. I also am in a company that is predominantly African American based. It is 52 years old and built in the African American tradition. And so through the company being here for 14 years, I have learned a lot about my African heritage. And I'm using the designs to do that. The symbol that is in my hand is based upon one of those symbols. This is the symbol for Sankofa. It means to look back to go forward. And so that is, yeah. It's traditionally used to say, keep your ancestry alive, remember the rituals, remember where you started. And since knitting was the thing that I can most remember from my childhood next to dance, it's kind of apropos.
Very good. That's very interesting. So the symbol is in your design, and you're also using it. Did you say you were putting it into some other things as well?
Yes, I'm putting it into a set of fingerless mitts that are going into testing. The test call went out today, so I'm looking for testers. But it has also been used in a lot of the dances that I've done. So it means something very special to me to be able to use this particular Adinkra symbol, which is the symbols of Ghana.
And so, so when you were knitting this, did it help you to feel closer to your heritage, or were there, was there a certain, I would kind of feel like there was kind of an ethereal connection if I were doing something like that. And have you, did you find any, great comfort in that?
I did. As a child, I was adopted, so I often felt kind of lost in terms of my history. This kind of reminded me that even though my history isn't tracked per se by a genealogical chart, I do have like family that centered me into who I became today. So even the motif of this area is kind of like the genealogical tree of your history, your family line, and how it creates you. And you come to this center spot, and then your history that will branch beyond you. So everything about the cow kind of tells that story in your history. And I've really, every time I knit one of these, I enjoyed that process.
That's very interesting. Pam, do we have some questions?
Well, we do. We have many of our fans have said hi and welcome Michael. I won't say all of them because there were many. And Jillian Goldred wants to know if you made your sweater.
Yes, I did. This was actually a testament that I did for Designed by Dennis.
And Donna
Nahajlo
said that she thought your cow was beautiful and she really loved your story.
Oh, thank you.
So
the more that I play with it, the more that
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, the more that I play with this pattern, the more that I find that centering of myself.
Well, that's great. That's great. And I appreciate all you folks. If you have some questions for Michael, please be sure to put them in the chat box and we'll see if we can draw some answers out of them.
Jillian Goldridge said she would love to test your mitts.
Did you hear that, Michael? Jillian Goldridge said she'd love to do some test knitting for you. So, Jillian, I had
in order to do that.
Yeah. So, Michael, if you'd like to how do we connect with you for that?
So I am on Yarn Pond. That's where my test knits are being held, on Yarn Pond. And my Instagram handle is MD Green like the color, 85. So you can also
Okay, so
find it
Jillian,
there.
I'll be sure to send all that information directly to you. And if there are other people who would like to test knit Michael's new mitts and some other thing, whatever else he's coming out with, I'm sure that would be such a fun thing to do. I love connecting with the artists and learning more about them and their stories. Michael, are there other designs that you think, that other symbols that you feel drawn to at this time, as far as future designs
There
go?
are numerous symbols in the Adinkra language that are in use, and several of them point directly to lineage and history. My particular favorite things is pointing to things that I've experienced. So there's a symbol for perpetual learning that I'm working on a shawl right now for. There's another symbol that centers around having God at your heart. It's
I'm losing him.
that one is actually a very common symbol that's used on their money. So I wanted to play around with the idea of feeling empowered, but also feeling like you're just draped in wealth by what you've designed by your own hands. A lot of my projects come from the idea of, if you make it with your hands, there's already a spirit placed into it. And so that is kind of the focus right now, is just making sure that each symbol gets their just desserts and stand up on its own. We did mention, and I have right here, the test knit that I'm starting. So these are the fingerless knits that will be in testing. And they are a beautiful design based on the Sankofa symbol as well, that pairs right with the towel. So they're not done in the same yarns, they're in a fingering weight, but they are just so much fun to do, and so much that you can learn from these symbols. And I hope that I am able to get that message across.
Cool. We have some more comments.
Donna Hart Turvalon said to Michael, she loves your background and your story, your strong Afrocentric influences. Chester.
Hi, Donna.
Chester Lagnay has put the website on for the test knits.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Chester.
Yep, that's on there. Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl. There's some slight streaming issues in Michael's Wi-Fi. We appreciate your patience. Nitty Gritty Yarn Boy here.
That's the Nitty Gritty Yarn Boy.
So Karen
Benzavengo.
Oh, thank you. She's asking to repeat the name of the site, but Karen, if you just look back, you'll see in the comments that the site is in there.
Yeah, and we have we'll be sure that the post will be up, and you'll be able to look at all the comments that are there. But I'll put that in as well. We'll make sure we highlight that. So are there more questions?
Just Rita Johnson Cotterman, I love that you're using the symbols of your heritage and something that keeps you grounded.
Excellent. So let me show you what we've done I don't have the cowl yet because I haven't started knitting it. I've been trying to get one thing off my needle so I can get something else on my needles before we start doing something else even more. But in the meantime, I can show you the lovely yarns that we paired up for this. So I'm going to bring them out here and put them on the table, and I'm going to use this.
Pamela Cronum says, Paulette, what shawl are you wearing? It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I am wearing the oh my goodness, what's it called? Straight on the bias. Straight on the bias. And that's on our website. Okay, so we're using Lana Gatto's VIP, which is an 80% extra fine merino and 20% cashmere. I just felt that the cashmere would and the merino would be such a soft feel against your neck with this gorgeous symbol. And all the colors are really interchangeable with each other. We've got all the kits up on the website. And you can, if you, I think, Michael, you had mentioned a nice contrast would be most favorable if you were going to use this, something that one would show up against the other. And so I put as many combinations up there as I could think of, but you certainly know that you can always, we can always custom color for you. Or if you wanted to even use a different yarn, you could let me know. Either, we could work something out there as well. So we've got this on our website. It's already up and ready for you to go ahead. And in the meantime, what we'll do is we will order the pattern for you directly from Michael's KnittyGrittyYarnGirl, from Michael's Ravelry page, so that Michael, you'll be sure to get all those click-throughs when we order them right through the page from you for them. So all that is there, and it's this is really a fun time. Are there any other questions?
Jillian has signed up for the test knit.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah. And Karen,
Pennsylvania.
Thank you. I'm gonna have to practice. Yeah. Says hi, but she says you have a beautiful smile.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Jennifer Francis, she's going to check on the kits.
So. Oh, good. Thank you so much. So we'll look forward to seeing a lot more from Michael in the coming months, I'm sure. And Michael, whenever you are, if you're around, you want to pop on the show and chat with us and let us know how things are going. We would love to hear more from you.
Of course, and hopefully next time I will have better signal. I don't know what's going on, but
that's okay. Sometimes it happens. There's not much we can do about that. So that's great. So Michael, is there anything else you wanted to share with the group?
Actually, I wanted to talk a little bit more about some special things that I've done with the pattern.
Okay.
I also say that this pattern is for a person who wants to try color work for the first time. It may look complicated on the surface, but the pattern, the way that I have built the chart, assists you in doing the color. So there's spots in the color work chart that will tell you exactly where to have your floats. So you can catch them in a specific place. And I've had several of my testers for this one.
1 second. I just want to show them.
They really enjoy the chart. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love the way you put those little anchors.
So all those small little dots in there. Mm-hmm. And that way you're just
very interesting.
Knitting to the chart.
Right. And the charts are not that hard to do. I mean, it's really not. And I saw something really interesting just recently, Michael, and I don't know if yours are the same, or I was always taught that you read right to left for the odd rows and left to right for the even rows. Yes. Okay. So is that how your patterns are going? Because I just saw one recently where it's right to left on every row, and I'd never seen that before.
It's right to left on every row because you're doing it in the round.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Now.
And then I really want. But I also did it so that your inside looks just as beautiful as the outside. So I'm showing my floats here. It really imitates the pattern exactly on the inside.
Yes. Really interesting. I saw that. I was quite impressed. I must admit. Quite impressed. That was really very.
It's one of my favorite things about color work.
Yes.
So we have some comments. Julie, Denny Stark said the chart looks really knitter friendly. Helen Solenberg said, great meeting you, Michael. Linda Foster, great meeting the designer. Thank you for sharing your talents. Linda Crystal Young, ooh. Float markings are super. Thanks for marking that out. And Andrea Whitmore, if you are in the round, is it right to left always?
And I guess that's what it is.
Yeah.
It makes sense because we just keep going in that same circle.
Linda Witt Sims, wow, the float side looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Love the idea of the dot, says Kathleen Bray. Dina Justice, can't wait to knit your beautiful cowl.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's great. Well, I'm thrilled to have you with us, Michael. I'm so glad we finally connected because I remember seeing your cowl a little while back. Am I correct? I think.
I had posted it. The gap between me actually getting the pattern published, I had a lot of anxiety about it. So I took some time to just step away from it. And then as I was talking to my group of nightly knitters it's a great pattern. You're ready to go. You've got it all together. And they kind of pushed me to do that. In fact, Stephanie and Chester are people I knit with nightly. So they're here for me.
I remember that when I wrote my first novel. It was like at some point you have to stop editing and just let it go, and just let the universe take over because it's ready. It's just that we need to make sure that we're ready to put it out there. And I can imagine the anxiety that you must feel. And I love to knit, and I do not design at all. I mean, once in a while, I will take we'll take a pattern and look at it and go, oh no, we'd rather do something different. And so we can kind of figure out what to do. But for me to design something totally, no. And so I honor you for the talent that you have and the ambition that you have to take that talent and put it forward.
So Darren Showers, Jennifer Francis, and Linda Johnson Cotterman cannot wait to try this cowl.
Well, we're looking forward to helping you find just the right colors for it, and we're gonna have a great time knitting it. All of us are. I know it. I can't wait to get it on my needles as well. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna, Michael.
Thank you.
Welcome to stay on with us and enjoy the rest of the show. I've got a few things I want to finish up with for the group. So, I want to thank you so much for being with us and for sharing your story, sharing your pattern and all the wonderful things about yourself. And I know that I speak for the entire Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl community when I wish you the best of luck and so very much great success with your future in knitwear design.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. So I'm going to, if you want to stay on, watch us, that's great. If you want to sneak off, we're okay with that. We'll be sure to pass along any comments to you that happen if you should decide to sign off. For now, as we finish up our show today, I just want to let you know that we had an amazing weekend with Stitches. Stitches, I did, right?
Yes, you did.
Yes, thank you. I'm just so confused. I'm sorry. In fact, I said to my husband, I have Stitches this week. And he said, no, you have Vogue this week. Oh, thank you so much, because I don't even know what I'm doing. But, one of the things that I was fortunate to be able to get for the show were some Nora garments. And one of the things that I had never really had a chance to look at in person, but I've seen it a lot. I finally got a chance to get one in the shop. Oops, let me move this out of the way. And that is this heart blanket. And I'm really impressed that I love it. It is just so great. This is knitted with Curion, and Curion's 100% wool. And it's, you know what? It's a soft wool. I love it. Well, I'm a wool person. I like wool. But it reminds me, what? I think it was when I was little. When I was little, I had this great blanket on my bed, and it was wool. And I maybe that's why I don't mind it, because I used to love putting the wool up next to my neck, and it was kind of scratchy. But this is not scratchy. I love it. This is the Nora Heart blanket. It's on our website. And they have also taken one of the strips and made it into a scarf. And so I just got my scarf in the mail. So I'm going to start knitting that up. And it's also the cover of magazine number 18, which I just got my store copies for, my first 6 copies, which I will be using to promote our tasting boxes. Those will all be taking place tomorrow. We'll be able tomorrow I'll probably get them up on the website so that you can start ordering those and get a feel for what's in that book and a literal feel for the yarn. Get some nice little tasting samples in your hand. We're going to be getting those ready. In the meantime, don't forget, we still have lots of time for winter knitting. We had a lot on our show. Hold on a minute. I want to bring one of these out for you because, we showed Beatrix one night. Okay. Oops, I'm losing my shelf. We showed Beatrix one night on the show, and this is such a great yarn. And this is a beautiful, beautiful wrap by Beatrix. I'm using Beatrix, and the name of this is the Alyssa Wrap. And, talk about a feather. This is such a featherweight yarn for being a bulky yarn. And it knits up beautifully. And I just think that this pattern, simplistic as it is, shows the design so very nicely. And look at that. So pretty. So pretty. So that was one of the things that we showed this weekend. And I'm going to have these garments for a while, at least until the end of this week when we have Vogue Knitting Live. So if there's something that you want to see that's Nora based, give me a holler and I'll be more than happy to help you out with what we have. Someone asked about this that I'm wearing. This is called Straight on the Bias. This was designed by Ira Schreier using the Merino Cloud Ombres. And so I've used it takes 2 skeins, one of each color. I've used the pinks and the grays. And then in true Art Yarns fashion, there's always some beaded silk and sequins that goes on a garment should you enjoy adding a little punch of sparkle to your piece. Now, the original piece was designed to have the sequins just at the border. My suggestion would be to put the sequins in all the garter stitch sections. So if I were to do this again, there are garter stitch sections here and then here again. There are a few throughout. You can see down here so that when you wrap it, you can see the sparkle, not just on the border, because there was more than enough left to have been able to put the sparkle in those sections as well. So always a nice thing. We always annotate the patterns. Again, we don't design. Actually, this is Iris's own pattern. And so I would if you wanted to do this, I would suggest other places where you could add the silk and sequins if you wanted. And keep in mind that every item that we put up that is a Merino Cloud item is always beads are optional. Are there more questions, Pam?
Let me see now.
Oh, they might have gotten ahead. That's okay.
Well, that's okay. I'm sorry. So Donna, say her name, please.
Turlan?
No.
Oh, Donna
Nahashla wants to know how Paul is, but he has answered her, saying he's doing pretty well. He's still in rehab. And Lyle Foster, I believe it's the shawl you're wearing, Straight on the Bias, knitted up beautifully.
Thank you.
Helen Schellberger loves the colors, and Linda Brialt, fingerless gloves are great.
Yes, they are. I've been making good use of mine.
And she also loves the glitter sparkle shine, her favorite color.
Well, we do a lot with just a little sparkle, we call it here. You just like to make it you can add a little sparkle to anything. Now I can promise you this, I have not yet knitted with beads, little separate individual beads. It's on my list. But right now, having the beaded silk and sequins makes my life a little easier. I can I can just add a little kick wherever I want it in my pattern. And there is always an easy place to add it. And you know, we do it in so many different patterns, in so many different of our patterns. I'm going to go this way. Pam actually just recently knitted the Bojagi and put the silk and sequins in that as well. Look how beautiful that looks. That's really I love the way this came out. You did a great job on this one.
Thank you.
That's that one. And then this one is, I believe this is called Susanna Mon Amour. I have to look and see. There are so many out there. But if you just look up Merino Cloud on our website, you'll see all the different designs that we have using art yarns. And there's quite a few of them. They're quite lovely. So how are we doing on time, Miss Pam? What do we got there?
We have gone over just a little.
Uh-oh.
We're at 31 minutes. So.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. I think we're okay. So you know what though, before we end our day, I want to let you all know that I just got a registration in today for the retreat. And guess where these people are coming from? California. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this retreat. I know we are going to be able to have it. We are going to, I'm feeling so confident. Actually, I found out today that they're starting to schedule COVID shots for my age group. So I'm excited about that. So thank you so much for that registration today. I'm so happy. I can't wait for this retreat. April 30th, May 1st and 2nd at Water's Edge Resort in Westbrook, Connecticut. It's the Nearly Spring Friendship Retreat, and it is on our website if you would like to join us. We've had a great time coming. So time for sharing. Sharing is caring. Thank you so much. Oh, I have to dig from the bottom. All right, I got one. I got an orange one. Kelly Epson Richards. Thank you so much, Kelly. Thanks for sharing Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl. Thanks for sharing the love. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. We will see you next week on Twisted Stitches. Keep your eyes and your ears open. You never know when we're going to show up on your screen. We'll see you soon. Have a great night.